Hi guys, this is Tobiasobi, and today, well, Monster Hunter World Iceborne is upon us, and the overarching question in a lot of people's minds is, how do I get ready? If you're one of the folks feeling antsy about the jump to Master Rank and hearing Illidan bellowing in your head,
you are not prepared!
Well, here are some tips to help you out. Now these are based on my experience actually finishing the game, which I got a review copy of prior to its release, as well as being a long-time Monster Hunter player who has made the jump to G rank multiple times. G rank, by the way, is what Master Rank used to be called in the old games. Number 1, don't spend too much time crafting armor. So it's tempting to go on an armor crafting spree in order to get ready for Iceborne's Master Rank. Here's the thing though, all those beautiful in-game high rank armor and mix sets that you have from World are essentially going to be obsolete the moment you find yourself entering Iceborne's frosty shores. I say essentially because the skills are still going to be better than what you can get in the beginning of the game. Heaven knows how hard it was for me to drop my high rank critical status set with the QR Glaive Paralysis and switch to Master Rank Beatotus when I first started. But I had to because the entry level Beatotus set had much higher defense than my old set. I went from potentially being two-shot by strong attacks as a Blade Master to something with much better survivability. Heck, my coworker, who also got a review copy, and was kind of blazing through the game, and decided not to make armor right away, well, he ended up making Master Rank Alloy Armor. Yes, the starter armor that most folks point and laugh at before they make something better. Because Barrioth was one-shotting his high-rank armor from World. It's the same reason you don't want to spend too much time crafting all sorts of low-rank armor, because they get obsolete rather quickly when you make the move to high rank. So just stick with the best upgraded high-rank armor you've got now, and don't worry about having to make all sorts of different high-rank sets for Iceborne. That is, unless you're rocking something like Jagra's high-rank armor, you'll probably want something better than that. Number 2, do spend time crafting and upgrading your weapons. Unlike armor, weapons can actually be upgraded to their Master Rank counterpart in Iceborne. This means investing time in upgrading your favorite high-rank weapons won't be wasted in the expansion. The only caveat is if a better weapon is introduced in a different tree, but your upgraded weapon still won't be totally useless if that's the case, and likely will provide an alternative option that's just a bit different, like maybe less element but higher raw or vice versa. Also note that Kulve-Taroth weapons are not upgradable, so you will need to farm that monster's Master Rank counterpart when Capcom eventually releases it at some point, as the older weapons will be outdated. As someone who got all the QR charge blades and rarely uses that weapon class, I'm not sure if I should be happy or salty. Like pretzel. Next tip, don't go too crazy on deco farming. If you like to go deco farming for fun, then go knock your socks off. That's actually okay. But if you go deco farming because you feel obligated to do so prior to Iceborne, well, there's really no need to unless you really have a sparse deco collection. As long as you have the essentials such as Tenderizer for weakness exploit or even Vitality Jewels for health boost, as well as others tailored to your favorite builds already, then you should be fine. You shouldn't feel obligated to farm that elusive attack jewel, for example, because Iceborne is providing alternate ways to acquire that skill, not just via armor, but also via the new level 4 decorations, which come with 2 skills in 1 or 2 points of a skill. Anyway, I'm not saying it's bad to go grind for jewels, because it's certainly great to enter Iceborne with a diverse deco collection. But you also don't have to force yourself to do so, if it's something you don't like to do. That's coming from someone who got all his decos while normally playing the game, including several pretty rare ones. Next tip, do befriend the Tail Riders. Each area has a cat tribe that you can befriend via optional quests, and I recommend getting that done prior to Iceborne, as it will allow you to unlock Raider Rides, or unique animal mounts for each area. Raider Rides are especially a godsend for large maps, allowing you to track or catch up to fleeing monsters. It also allows you to multitask by letting you sharpen your weapon or consume items while you're riding around. Yeah, so if you can get that done before Iceborne, do it so you're all set. Next tip, do get all the Palico gadgets if you can. Monster Hunter World boasts a wide array of special gadgets that your cat can use, including healing, vigor wasps, buffing horn, and a tanking shield, for example. Every single one of those gets upgrades in Iceborne, and some of them are quite game-changing. Your Palico's Vigor Wasp gadget, for example, can be leveled up to unlock Vigor Wasp Resurrection, which prevents you from carding one time by raising your back up when you faint. The caveat is that it doesn't get you back to full health, So it's also quite possible to get carded as soon as you stand up if the monster happens to be attacking you right away. Then you also have the Shield Spire, which can be upgraded to summon a dummy cat that is great at grabbing a monster's attention. So if you do a lot of solo or duo hunting, these Palico gadgets are a godsend, especially against the tougher monsters. As such, you want to upgrade them to level 10 before Iceborne starts. That way, all you need to do is level it up one time to level 11 to unlock the new skills. Then you can max it out to level 15, which sort of improves the skills that you've got. Up next, do not neglect your basic items. So that means your Mega Potions, Max Potions, Farcasters, Traps, etc. I know in World I eventually got to a point where I didn't use the Mega Potions and Max Potions as much as I did in low rank or early high rank. One reason was because my endgame gear was pretty good, and also my skills were kind of dialed down at that point, and so I didn't need to heal as much. In Iceborne, however, you will be starting Master Rank with less than ideal gear once again, and even minor monsters that you used to laugh at can now hit you like a truck. And all you manga and anime watchers know how dangerous trucks can be. Anyway, this means that you'll want to stock up on materials for crafting essential items, so you can go straight to hunting in Iceborne. In addition to cultivating materials for healing items, make sure you have antidotes, herbal medicine, barcasters, traps, tranks, even energy drinks for a certain monster, unless you gem that sleep resistance in there. It's always a good idea to be prepared for anything. Next tip. Do unlock your canteen food ingredients. Having a full list of food choices at a canteen gives you more options to start your hunts on the right track. This includes custom combinations that allow you to get the effects you want. Perhaps you want to get Attack Up L with Feline Moxie. Maybe you want to pair Moxie with Elemental Resistance L instead. On that note, it also might be a good idea to stock up on canteen meal vouchers so effects are guaranteed to trigger. Doing the Greeting the Gluttons event quests with either the Legiana Blessing or Favor set bonus is a good way to farm these. Personally, I got 400 plus just placing Poogie near the handler's table in Astera after every hunt. Yeah, I know. Once you start Iceborne, you will also have access to new gourmet vouchers to further up your canteen game. Next tip, don't worry about unlocking those layered armors. For now. Monster Hunter World actually offers plenty of layered armor, but some require hunting tough monsters or finding special tickets. If you're still missing some of them at this point, it's just better to wait for Iceborne because it revamps the process a bit. Can't quite talk about it too much because the game's not out yet as I'm recording this. But you have several options, like if you want to be evil, you can actually get Master Rank gear and then go back to high rank to slap those nasty high rank monsters that previously gave you a hard time to get the layered armors that they drop. The only caveat are the event ones, so you might want to do those when they're available. Like I did all the layered armor events, and so when I started Iceborne, I actually had the option to pretty much craft almost all of them, I think. Whereas my coworker who didn't do them only had like the option to craft a few of them, so just keep that in mind. I mean, if it's fun for you to get the layered stuff, just go ahead and get it out of the way. But at the same time, if you're having a tough time with some of them, then you don't really need to super stress out about it, because you can always just circle back. And it's probably going to be easier too, if you circle back with better gear to do some of these hunts. Next tip, do unlock the Temporal Mantle. With Master Rank introducing even tougher monsters, having the Temporal Mantle in your quiver is more important than ever. For those not familiar with it, this allows you to dodge attacks that can knock you down for a limited amount of time. Heck, the game's actually balanced to account for use of this mantle, so you're essentially gimping yourself by not having it. Keep in mind that it doesn't prevent minor or tick damage, so you can still cart while wearing it, believe it or not. Lunostra. It does let you survive the big hits, and guarantees that you can inflict constant damage for a certain amount of time. By the way, the mantles and boosters get upgraded versions in Iceborne, so it's actually a good idea to get all of them if you can. Pretty much they can be upgraded so you can put jewels in them. Anyway, to unlock the Temporal Mantle, you will need to finish several special assignments. So one is the Food Chain Dominator, which is a 7-star Devil Joe hunt that unlocks the next quest, which is the Blazing Sun. This is an 8-star quest on Teostra. And then after that, you'll need to do Pandora's Arena, which is an 8-star Lunostra hunt. And then last but not least is No Remorse, No Surrender, which lets you take on Teostra and Lunostra at the same time. Finish all of that and voila, Temporal Mantle is yours. And then last but not least, do finish the game and get to Hunter Rank 16. In the end, this is actually the only thing you really need to do in order to be able to play Iceborne. Even if you ignore every other tip that I mentioned earlier, you will still be able to play the game, and by that I mean Monster Hunter World Iceborne, simply by fulfilling this requirement. Anyway, those are my tips for getting ready for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Now go gird those loins and chug a hot drink, and I'll be seeing you at Hoarfrost Reach. Once again, this is Tabi Asobi, and thank you for watching.
You are prepared!